Hey everybody. So I decided that next video would be the one that has been of some interest for some viewers regarding what types are interesting to me versus not interesting to me. When I say me, I mean that literally, because there's a couple of caveats before I go into this entire topic. First of all, this is completely subjective. It is totally just my 2 cents based on what I have a natural propensity to be interested in spending time with. And also, it is based solely on being a partner. So this has nothing to do with friends, family, anything of the sort, or acquaintances. This is simply to do with having a spouse or significant other. And so again, subjective. I also did a little bit of research beforehand, and I had looked at the INTJ, or I looked into INTJs and compatibility. If you are interested in it, I can put a link in when I get this posted. But it was, the main one was off psychologic, something like that, I can't remember, .co. So to do INTJs and compatibility with different types. So the benchmark I was trying to see was whether or not I agree with certain compatibility profiles that they had posted and whether or not it would fit in my world. So what I found is that, surprise, surprise, the main picks that I chose were all introverts. And I think for myself, and everyone has a different degree of introversion, an extrovert would potentially have more difficulty being with an introvert and vice versa because of the fact of the fundamental need for alone time versus going out and socializing. So with this in mind, I also decided to choose a middle road. So there's a couple that are some that it's like, it's on the fence. It would totally depend on the person. Because in all of these personality typologies, these are all subjective again. So going forward, the main ones, INTJ, totally think is great. I would be with that. The concept of being with someone, I've talked about it in another video, but the concept of being with someone of the similar profile, you know what you're getting to a certain point. So you can understand potentially each other better. Even though this is about significant others, I am blessed to have quite a few friends that are INTJs, and it is like there's just this unwritten mindset that speaks to each other, so we get through a lot of things that could potentially be barriers in establishing relationships on the significant other side. So the other one would be INFP. And I think that there is a lot of resonance there because of, there's a lot of similarities and also the rareness of that profile. I think it really screamed to me that there's a lot of potential compatibility with that type if I was to go and look for a significant other. The last one is obviously my husband, ISFP. Again, this is not technically one that is brought up as being a perfect match, but really relationships, there never is. So it's, again, the uniqueness that each person brings to the table. But I find that the comfort and the ability to intuitively trade off on specific issues or tasks or times in your life that you need that support. The majority of the times that partnership is really beneficial and strong. I've talked about times when it isn't, but that's the point of having a video on that. Okay, middle row. So first one, ENTJs. It's the only one that I have chosen as an extrovert to bring to the table. Reason why is that if the ENTJ is not high on the spectrum of how extroverted they are, there is a case to be made that there might be a great connection there, because you both want the same things. You're both interested in a larger picture. You're both driven. There's some mutual respect and based on intelligence, not superficial things. And so there's an opportunity there. However, the major caveat to that is, and I'm just looking here because I wrote specifically about this one, the concern about competition, the competing, the control, and the potential for arrogance. And ENTJs out there, I'd love to hear your comments on this, but there is a strong propensity for these three things coming into the dynamic, especially because the fact that an INTJ is in the picture and we do have a lot of different differences in our makeup, so our functional stack is different, and my concern with that would be either it would be amazing or it would be a catastrophe based on the initial gut instinct of the ENTJ to go head to head and us as INTJs to be equally charged with trying to understand how that works. So the other one, middle ground, I'm going to wrap this up quick. INTP, I think they're fantastic. I just think that we might have potentially a little bit of issues with the long term. I think short term would be interesting, but long term may or may not work just because of the differences in how we perceive and execute on things. And the other one is ISTP. That is a question mark. It is one where my father is one, but this is regarding significant others. But that personality type can definitely become dogged in trying to move our visions and ideas and careers forward because they might be more entrenched in the doing things in the immediacy and if it's not broke, don't fix it situation might cause some distress. So I'm not going to go into what I don't like because I think you can read between the lines on the others. I did specifically say extroverts wouldn't be my bag. But the thing that really resonated is that, again, through this whole process, it's unique. And I'd be interested to hear what other people have noticed regarding their dating or significant other situations and whether or not they've noticed similar trends with the ones that were mentioned here and whether or not they were, as an INTJ, male or female, were attracted to a disproportionate amount similar to the types that I had just brought up. So as usual, thanks so much. And video requests, just make sure in the comments to add video requests at the beginning. Thanks.